Why military build a motorcycle that's slower, heavier, noisier with a diesel engine? Motorcycles are supposed to be fast, lightweight, agile. Diesel engines are almost the exact opposite. They're heavier, vibrate more, and rev lower.
This motorcycle runs on gasoline because it performs a higher function.
To answer that question, we need to leave the motorcycle behind for a moment, because this story doesn't start in a garage. It starts on battlefield. Presented by Morpha Auto. When most people think about war, they think about tanks, fighter jets, missiles, special forces, the things that make headlines. But military planners often worry about something much less glamorous: logistics, because a tank without fuel isn't a weapon, it's a monument. A fighter jet without fuel isn't an aircraft, it's a museum piece. Every vehicle on a battlefield depends on one thing: fuel. And that's a problem. Modern armies consume enormous amounts of it. So much that entire convoys exist for one purpose: delivering fuel. The trouble is that fuel convoys become targets, destroy the fuel, and everything else eventually stops, which led military planners to ask a simple question: how do we make the fuel system less complicated? Military forces use different fuels for different machines. One for trucks, another for aircraft, another for generators, another for motorcycles. Every fuel type meant more storage, more transport, more opportunities for mistakes. NATO wanted to simplify that. The solution became known as the single fuel concept. Instead of moving multiple fuels across a battlefield, standardize around one, JP8, an aviation fuel already used throughout the military. The fewer fuel types you move, the simpler the entire supply chain becomes, and on a battlefield, simplicity can be a huge advantage. There was only one problem: motorcycles. They didn't fit the system. So engineers came up with a strange solution. What if the motorcycle used military fuel too? But turning that idea into reality wasn't easy. The challenge wasn't building a motorcycle from scratch. The challenge was keeping everything soldiers liked about the KLR, while making it run on JP8 diesel. And that turned out to be much harder than it sounded. Diesel engines behave very differently from gasoline engines. They produce power differently, generate higher compression, and usually heavier. And the most uncomfortable things, they vibrate far more. Engineers weren't simply changing the fuel, they were changing the entire personality of the motorcycle. Every extra kilogram mattered. A motorcycle is not a truck or a generator. Every extra kilogram mattered, and weight affects handling. Balance affects confidence. And confidence matters when you're riding off-road, carrying equipment, and operating far from support. Yet after years of development, those two goals didn't always get along. The result became the M1030M1, a diesel-powered military motorcycle capable of running on diesel JP8 and other military fuels. On paper, the mission was accomplished. The motorcycle finally fit into NATO's single-fuel concept. But solving one problem created another question: was it actually worth it? If you judge the M1030M1 like a normal motorcycle, probably not. It was slower, less responsive, and also heavier. Most civilian riders would never choose it, and that's exactly why diesel motorcycles never became mainstream. A diesel motorcycle solves a problem that most riders simply don't have. It was optimizing for logistics,